Nina's in Wigan. Nina, what would you like to say?
Hi, James.
Hello.
I'm a Year 4 teacher,
Okay.
so every year we have this sort of sex and relationships education. Every year the parents say, they're too young, they're only 8 and 9, why are you teaching our kids this? And every
Here's
year...
a Daily Mail column telling me that they're too young to do this.
Exactly. And every year the stuff that they know shocks me. You know, I had one particular parent create a complete fuss, and the first day we did it, and his child said, well, I was watching a video at my mate's house of, this man having a sex with a car exhaust. And I thought, your parent said you were a little angel, you know.
I'd have to tell you, I get taken by surprise sometimes on the radio, Nina, but that one I think is going to go into the top 3 of all time. And I don't know whether we should have issued any trigger warnings or warnings.
Oh, no, sorry.
No, look, you're talking about what a 9-year-old has said to you in a classroom in Wigan in the last couple of years.
But that's just normal. That's the things they see. As a parent, you can protect them as much as you want in your house.
That's the point you're making.
But the minute they go to the friend's house,
no, exactly.
They've got the internet. They've got older siblings.
And then you have the parents say, "My 9-year-old doesn't need this class because we keep a very close eye on what he can and can't access." And it's their 9-year-old who then turns around and tells you that they've watched a fella getting it on with a car exhaust around their mates on a laptop. Exactly.
So I mean, the problem is, it's parents don't accept that their children know about it, and they need to know about it. You know.
So what's the first thing that we should, in your view, fix? Is it the fact that parents don't... I mean, listen, I don't know how much of me you've heard today, but I'm tying myself in knots trying not to talk about this. I don't even want to think about it. I certainly can't do it in the context of bringing my own children into the conversation.
I know, and I've got 2 little girls the same, but they need to know. This is the world in which we live, and you don't protect them by sheltering them because this is the world we live in. They need to be educated properly. They need to be told about what's out there and what's normal and what's not okay. I had a lovely conversation last week with my class about, because they were talking about Sarah Everard, and they were saying, they're bearing in mind they're only little, and one of them said, I read this thing about 97% of girls had been sexually harassed. It's not right, miss. And they're having these conversations.
And what do you say to the boys, if you don't mind me?
Well, straight away, you've got a decision then to make as a teacher. Do I go with this, or do I say, no, come on, it's time for maths now?
Yes.
We're not talking about this. We've got tests to do next year. So I thought, no, we'll talk about it. And I explained to them sort of that it was really rare what had happened to Sarah, and she was really unlucky.
Sure, I'm just going to steer you away from that specific case. What do you say to the boys?
Well, then I said, boys, you have to understand. I said, you have got the power to make girls feel comfortable and safe and happy, but you also have the power to frighten them and make them feel uncomfortable, intimidated. I said, and just for the sake of having a laugh with your mates, I said, you need to know how that makes somebody else feel. And they were really good, and they responded really well. That's a really
beautiful way of putting it. Do you get trained in how to do that, or do you have to rely on your own wit and emotional intelligence?
No, it was just off the cuff comment, because I was saying I go out running. So I was saying, and they know this. And I said, every time I go out for a run, I said, I have a man holler at me out the window. And they were shocked. They said, why did they do that? I said, you tell me, boys, why did they do that?
You're brilliant. I nearly called you Miss then. You're absolutely brilliant. You really are. And
thank you.
And that point is, of course, that one of those boys may well grow up to be one of those men, or 10 of them maybe, but perhaps it's not naive to suggest that having you in their lives makes it less likely.
Well, it's more conversations like that what we need, because they said, well, they just think it's funny with the mates. I said, but how do you think that makes me feel? Yeah. And they say, well, that makes you scared. And it's about getting that empathy inbuilt in them from a young age. So I said, you're out with your mates. I said, and you see them. I said, if it's your dad, your brother, your uncle, I said, you have the power to say, you know what, it's not funny, that, pack it in. I said, it's brave for you to do that. But, sorry, it's not a little girl.
What's that? Is that your little girl?
Yeah. I said, I know it's you have to take a lot of courage to do that. I said, but you can change the way that situation plays out, and you can make a difference to somebody feeling scared and uncomfortable and actually going away feeling happy. I said, you've got that power, boy.